Welcome back. Daily Show on this Friday morning. It continues with the new executive director of Oasis Women's Center, Jenna Giess. Did I say this right, Jenna? I was thinking about this all morning, and I know I shouldn't break the fourth wall this fast, but I might as well get it out of the way.
So it is Giess.
Oh,
but
no, I do this
every single person who's ever announced me has said Giess, so I'm good with either one. I married into that name, so all right.
Well, Jenna, thank you so much for your time. Before we dive in, Oasis has been just, obviously a staple in not only our community, but throughout the region to help so many people who need the help the most and really are, in that battle, whatever circumstance they're under, and to step in and take over the reins as the new executive director. There's got to feel this moment of magnitude, I'm sure, for you. Jenna, fill me in on just what you're feeling, bird's eye view heading into this role.
So I've been watching Oasis over the years. I've been in this mission for over 11 years here at Hope Haven in Kansas City. So at first I was really skeptical. Does Oasis have the same magic that Hope Haven has? Like, is it doing the same wonderful stuff? And so before I took the job, I spent a day at Oasis. And what I saw there was so heartwarming. I immediately said yes. I knew what they were doing at Oasis was just as magical. And so I'm so excited. The energy that I have, getting ready to move home and doing what I love to do, and just starting the marketing and revitalizing the shelter, all the things that I've done here in Kansas City, I'm going to bring all those skills back home to Alton.
Well, and Jenna, we can't wait for you here, especially on our show. We would love to have you on and make sure we can help talk about all the great things and the new additions and everything else going on at Oasis. Whenever your tenure, officially begins and you're all the way back here, when do you officially start?
So I am going part-time in December just to get my feet under me. I know Marcy Jacobs is ready to go back to retirement. She's been wonderful.
She's wonderful.
She is. And so I start officially full-time on January 1st. But I have been just kind of getting my feet all flat and ready to dive in December. I started a Facebook page. I haven't made any posts yet. So we already have almost 300 followers. So I'm just really excited to be able to share with social media and share all the wonderful things that we're doing at Oasis, but also all the wonderful people that work there. Yeah. When I was there, I heard people answering the hotline, giving advice, just really caring. And when I saw that, I was like, I put in my resignation the next day and I was like, okay, this is a mission I can stand behind. So I just want the community to know what we're doing. I want the community to know about these people that are doing this work that are so amazing. I want them to see and feel what I saw and felt when I went into Oasis. So you're
100% right, Jen. And I want to ask you about your background, here in a second, but let's just stay on this point because whenever you get a chance, and I'm talking and just, generically, but whenever folks have a chance to really not stop in necessarily, but just talk to Marcy or talk to one of the volunteers, you see the passion, shine through on every conversation. And not only the passion, but the mission statement shine through on every conversation. And that's where I think, like you said, showcasing, the volunteers and the folks that are helping, elevate Oasis to where it's becoming the great work that, we might hear about it, every once in a while, but really need to see every day because seeing's believing. What's your thought? You're interviewing, all of this happens, and then you go and you shadow, you're there for a day. When you see the volunteers at work and you see the programs in motion, you have this background already. What was your first true thought? Was it wow, or was it something along the lines of, this makes sense now?
So when I went in there, because they don't have a lot of marketing,
right.
I was like, I was calling every week to decide if I really wanted to apply. But when I went in there, I was like, everybody who told me about Oasis, they didn't even tell me like how they felt when they went in there. And so when I went in, I just looking around at that staff, they sold it to me. I love my team. I've created the most amazing team at Hope Haven, and I've created the best job for myself. I'm grieving leaving this place. It's my favorite place on earth. But I do know when I walked into Oasis that I could see that they also need what I have, the skills that I have developed, the internal controls. I could see that they have everything, all the foundation, everything that they need. And they just need somebody to come in in with fresh ideas, somebody to come in and just really just elevate the team, just care about them, just as the past director did for the last 40 years. So
absolutely. And before we go into the next chapter of Oasis and some of the things that maybe you're seeing and you'd like to, look at doing, let's talk about your background. Let's talk about Hope Haven a little bit. What led up to this role at Oasis? Fill us in on the last, how many years have you been with Hope Haven?
So I've been with Hope Haven a little over 11 years.
Wow, that's incredible.
But I actually started this mission with the Metropolitan Organization to Counter Sexual Assault. So they came in and did a quick presentation in my classroom about how we could volunteer to sit with rape victims during their forensic exam. And I was like, this is my calling. I was a criminal justice criminology major. I always wanted to work with criminals, and but I started volunteering at the hospital with rape victims, and that organization sent me a part-time job to Hope Haven. And I said, what's a domestic violence shelter? And I just, it's sad that I didn't know what it was. And when I came on my first day, I learned so much, and I bought into the mission. I saw what it was about. I see there's nothing greater on this planet for me than watching a woman come in and have all these barriers, but then we just get to work with them, and then they leave, and you see them a decade later, and their kids are now 10, and they're happy, and they don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
But I held them as a baby. I held them up. I helped their mom. And so like that magic that I've worked here, I would never leave this mission. I can't ever imagine myself doing something else. So when that opportunity at Oasis came open, I know that we can make this magic happen, and we can elevate the services that are already being provided into a way that our community hasn't imagined before. Because at Hope Haven, we're part of the 10% of shelters in the nation who allow victims to flee with their pets. We have an on-site pet kennel. And before that, the reason we created the pet kennel was because I had gone to so many different houses with families and heard stories about their pets being killed, or kids telling me that their animals were hung on clotheslines. And so really the mission at Hope Haven is what can we do to break down the barriers? I know that's what Oasis is doing as well. And so really, I just found a problem. And then I worked really hard to get a solution. And of course, I really became good at grant writing. So I did a lot of capital projects through grant writing, and we never really spent our general operating on any of those projects. So it's really something that I look forward to doing for Oasis, because I think that is a niche maybe that hadn't been utilized in the past. So
well, and honestly, Jenna, that's something that I would never even have thought of, and I think that so many people, probably just like me, would never even think of, because we've never really been in that situation, and those who have never been in the situation truly are never going to understand it. I believe. And whenever you're in this position, and like you said, you have the foundation. Oasis has already done this. Is there an educational component, a part of this for, maybe I don't want to say, categorically, the whole region, but especially just here in Alton where you're coming into, and just those surrounding communities, is there going to be an educational component of it? Because honestly, Jenna, that sticks to me. I mean, the fact that you could witness your animals being hung on a clothesline is something out of this world. And I mean, not to grandstand that idea, but just to raise awareness to what is going on could be going on in these situations.
Yeah, and it is going on. I mean, child abuse and animal abuse are directly linked.
Wow.
And so this education piece is my soul. It was my heart. And I will talk to any business that allows me to come in. I will take every single speaking opportunity that we have. I'm the regional liaison for the Missouri Coalition Against Domestic and Sexual Violence. So I plan to do the same things in Illinois. I've really helped a lot of new leaders start their programs or get their programs shored up. So I think this region definitely needs education on domestic violence. Yep. I have a lot of friends and family who are, well, really all my friends and family are from the Alton area. And the way that they look at domestic violence is much different than the way that they look at domestic violence in the community that I've been educating for 10 years. Because when they look at survivors, sometimes they think, oh, poverty, or this person, sometimes people think they deserve it. And the truth is that survivors look like me. Survivors look like you. Abusers are the people standing behind us in the grocery line. And I think that really no abuser is going to say, hey, I just hit my wife. And not that I know of anyways. And so we think of sometimes these people in our communities and we don't believe the victim. And I'm going to share so many stories. I'm going to learn all the Oasis stories, and I'm going to go out there and I'm just going to talk to you guys. And I'm going to bring the raw emotion, because this job it's hard. I see the worst of the worst, but I also see the most beautiful transformations on earth. I truly believe that. And that's the thing, is you're never going to get to see what I get to see.
Yeah.
And it is my honor to get to see that, but I'm going to share with you guys my heart and what we're seeing.
Absolutely. Jenna, do you have a moment to take a quick break with me?
Yeah.
We'll take a quick break and we'll come back and continue this conversation with Jenna right after this on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, Free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Daily Show, welcome back. Man, I am ready for this weekend to get started. We're back with Jenna, the new director, Jenna Giess, the new director. Did I do it right this time, Jenna?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. 2 is true. We're back with Jenna, the new executive director of Oasis. And Jenna, going forward, you're getting ready to start part-time in December and get acclimated. Are you excited just to come back into the community again and be back home?
Just watching those commercials before I got back on, I'm just like, I'm so excited to be able to talk about Alton, because for so long, Cass County has been my community and they've rallied around me. But I've always wanted to go home. And I've been away from home for 17 years, 16 years in Kansas City. So gosh, getting to see that river every day. I mean, I cannot wait. I think that the people of Alton don't understand how special Alton is. And I've been waiting to come home for so long. I've been looking at Oasis for years and years and years. And I've just been waiting for my opportunity to come in and do what I've done in this community, right? With the people who raised me, seriously.
This is fantastic. And you said earlier you started a new Facebook page. There's no post yet, but let's get the likes going. Where is it? Just Oasis Women's Center?
Yes, perfect. Absolutely.
You know, what are you most excited to bring with you from Hope Haven to Oasis?
I'm really excited to bring in, I know this sounds silly, but my human resource experience. As a leader, I'm so caring, and I work through a lot of issues with my staff here. And I really can't wait to empower the team there. I know that I have so much inside of me to share with them, and I know same with them. And so I just think that this collaboration is going to be something that I've dreamed about for so many years.
Well, and on top of that too, are you, just to get folks that are maybe interested and just maybe getting excited for the next chapter too, volunteer opportunities, are we going to wait for those until you are kind of getting in, or can we still make that phone call and say, hey, whenever you're settled down and we're ready to get going, give me a phone call? Can we call now or should we wait?
Call now and ask for Marcy, and she'll start a list for us.
I love it. Going ahead, what's the next year look like for Oasis? I know everything's fluid, and especially in in your guys' not only environment, but also on the grant writing side of things and everything else that the back end work does. There's a lot of different things that could happen, right? There's a lot of outliers. If everything goes well, what would you like to see in the first year as executive director?
I really want to start a gala.
Wow.
I've done galas here for 11 years, and I really want our community to experience a gala. And of course, it's not going to be the most elegant upscale event like I just had for Hope Haven. We're going to start slow, but I see us having fundraisers and events that show the support. I see us growing our donations. I see I see us really revitalizing some of the aspects of the shelter. Mm-hmm. So I've already written a $20,000 grant, which cross our fingers that we get, for a pet program, because Oasis has a pet program. Mm-hmm. You can flee with your pets there and nobody knows. And so I feel like we've got to share that. We got to shout it from the rooftop, because there's so many people like myself who wouldn't leave without their pet.
Right.
So yeah, I want to create a better program with that. I want to shore up some policies. I want the policies that will help victims, and victims really just become a survivor. Absolutely. I mean, because when you make contact with us, you're making contact because you've survived a victimization. Yeah. And so you're going to tell us what you need from us. And that's the thing, is we're going to be able to provide different services for each person. And that's the magic, is that it's so individualized that everyone can find success at Oasis.
Well, Jenna, thank you so much for stopping by. And I'm really looking forward to continuing our conversations with you. And especially as you start in a couple of weeks part-time, and then you take it full-time and running January. Thank you so much for your time. And we hope to talk again soon.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
We'll take a quick break, and we're going to come back with the St. Louis Area Food Bank. They're feeding 3,000 families in this really cool food giveaway, the biggest one they've done to date. We're going to talk with Erica about that right after this. I do get paid to do this job, Jenna, on RiverBender.com and on Roku TV.